Hey guys, thank you for visiting my channel and welcome. I really appreciate all the great comments that you have posted, and I hope in this video I'll try to show a little more in detail what this setup is about and tell you what I've done to it to actually like improve this kayak. As I said before, this is an Ascend 133X, and as you can tell, I've done quite a few improvements to it, but I didn't want to put the trolling motor in the front of it because I know that it sticks out towards where the space that you have in this section, so I rather put the trolling motor in the back of it. So I did my setup that way, and I try to hide all the wires by putting them inside the kayak. So the wiring section of this kayak is split into two sections. One of them is the battery that controls the trolling motor, or whatever, you know, you have a power pole that you want to connect into it. You can either set it up in the front or you can set it up in the back. I mean, like, it depends how you wire it, but it goes from here all the way to the back, and that goes connected into, you know, your main battery that's going to drain the power for your motors. And the next section will be in your jack power. The jack power is supposed to split up into 5 different directions. The one is, you got number 1, number 2, you got the bow, the mid, and the stern. And there's a couple of things that I didn't like about the wiring that they did to it. One of them is that inside the jack, when you actually reach inside the guts of the kayak, the wires were had actually like this piping, this PVC piping, you know, they have the wire right through these pipes. I don't know why, but to me all it does is just extra weight to it. That's all it does. It just adds extra weight to it. So I don't think that I need it. So I took all the piping that was, you know, in this wiring in both sides, actually, in the jack power, in the other side. I know they're probably trying to like make it into so it'll actually like helps with the direction of the wire, but quite frankly it doesn't work. It's just, you know, it's just a waste. One other thing is that in order for me to actually like do all the wiring inside, I needed to access the inside of the kayak. When you access the kayak, this is what it has originally on it. And when you look at this, actually at these little panels, you can tell that they're all crooked. So I didn't trust them to actually like not leak or to actually like seal my kayak completely. Not this, nor the actual gaskets that go with it, because they're too thin, and quite frankly I wouldn't trust anything, you know. I wouldn't trust my kayak and, you know, me being in the water with this type of materials. All that said, I went into Amazon and I purchased this little deck plates, 4-inch also. If they fit perfectly in there. Unfortunately they come without the gaskets, so the gaskets I had to get a little creative, so I got some foam material that they sell, about the same type as this right here, but a lot thicker. It's like probably an 1/8 or 1/4 inch thick. Then I made the gaskets for it, and I you know, you could call it overkill, but I also put some marine glue to it, and then I put the whole thing together, so now I can access from here anything that's inside, all the wiring to the kayak. Okay, so let's see. Now that we got that covered, I could show you that my navigation lights right here are separate from the actual interior lights, and also they're separate from my fish finder. And I took one of those circuits, and as I said before, I put 2 12-volt belch pumps in the back of my kayak, in the bottom of it, in this section. So since these are like the deepest parts of the kayak, I figure, you know, if there's water, it's gonna start collecting in there, so it's gonna shoot right out through here. And in order for me to like make sure that I don't, you know, if I press the button in the front, I might probably leave those running all the time. So what I did is, so I turn everything on. Let's say, I believe it's this guy right here in the back. Okay, stern, I think is what I set him up to. And if you can see, there's a switch right here in the back of it, to where if I turn it on, you can hear all my bilge pumps running. Now the trolling motor, the wiring in the trolling motor, I actually cut the pipe on the trolling motor, and then I went into a Home Depot and then I purchased, this is a seal tie connector, as well as this guy right here is made out of aluminum, and this is another seal tie connector that works into rubber wire. This is for SJO wire. SJO, it's oil resistant as well as it's heat resistant, as you know, it withstands a few harsh environments. So I got this wire, I think I got about 10 foot of it, and it's 4 wires inside, 10 gauge. 10 gauge actually handles 30 amps, which that's what originally what the wires inside the trolling motor were. So I pretty much seal tied the whole thing, and I get a little bit of goo, as you can tell, and you know, and super glue too. I mean, you know, never know. And then I run all the wiring inside through here. These ones right here are Minn Kota little male and female connectors. So you got your male and female right here with 3 wires. Oh, I'm only using 2 of them, but you know, there's 3 wires in there. So you can just run the wiring inside the kayak. From there it goes into the controller right here. It's a potentiometer, that's what it's called. So from here I can actually control the speed of my trolley motor, as you can see right there, as well as I can control it forward, or I could control backwards. Okay, well, separate from that, I got, let's see, when I set up my my kayak, the last thing I wanted to do is actually put this padding right here, which I like it. It was, you know, but it's kind of hard to find right now. I don't know for what reason, but I mean, you could still find padding, maybe not in the same pattern, but like, or you know, maybe a little harder to find in this pattern, but because it was hard for me to find it again. This is the type of material that I was using for the actual mat that I use in my kayak. You know, as the material itself, you know, it's got a little self-stick paper right here, you know, so you just like take it out and glue it into the kayak itself. It'll be already marine grade, so it's for jet sports. So I'll be, you know, that's one of the uses for it. This guy right here, it's a battery that I usually keep in the cockpit right here. I got plenty of space right there, so all that said, I can just keep that, and then I can keep a few other things to it. All there is just a single battery, but I wanted to put it into a ring type box, something that, you know, will be waterproof. And then I put a little connector in the side of it, an IE connector right there, so I can connect it directly onto the jack power, and then that will work into some of the stuff that I you know, I have anything that's in the jack power. I try to connect it separate from the actual battery that I'm using for my motor, so like I know where my power is going and how much, you know, how much I can juice out of it. Other people has been asking me why did I put these handles right here. I mean, other than I think they look kind of cool, sometimes I don't want to fish. Sometimes I just want to chill with my wife or my daughter. And this is a chair that I used to have in a prior kayak that I used to have. So what it is I can put this chair right here, and then my daughter can sit right there. I can attach it in the back of it, like as you can see from those little eye hooks, and as you can see that chair just fits like right snug in there, and she can just hold on through here, and we both can have a little fun, you know, just chilling in the kayak. One other thing is that I got is this guy right here. This bad boy is actually a fish bag that if I am by myself and I'm trying to get something hopefully big, I mean, like, you know, it's not something that you do like every day, but if I was to actually have a bigger fish, this will fit just perfect right here. Well, obviously, let's see, this fits right in here, so let's put it where it goes. So this fits right here. So that box goes just right in there, and then I can have this fish bag right in here, where depending on the size of the fish, then I can actually, like, you know, unveil the whole thing. You know, it's got a thermal little protection inside, so you can separate this from the actual bag, so it works out pretty good, I believe. So that's just one other things that help for this. And then I can just, like, you know, roll it up and attach it right there, and then I still got all my space. As you can see, I could be sitting right here, and then you can see all the space that I have. I could also lift this up a little bit and then put it towards the back, and that will give me more space right here in this section. And the only reason why I put this guy right here, it's because the handle, I cannot put him on this to the side because the handle will be in the way when I'm trying to, like, turn it. So that's just perfect right there. It's just in the money. So other than that, I've been just, you know, here and there just doing little changes to it. When you look at my fish finder, if you notice, this right here is the cover of you know, one of those batteries, you know, one of those battery boxes. That's just the cover for it. When I was looking online to try to get the cover, just, you know, a visor for one of these units, it was asking me for like $40-50, sometimes more. And I just had this as a spare just laying around, and I'm like looking at it and like, I could make it work, and hey, guess what, it worked out pretty good. So what it does is, you know, it acts as a visor to it, and I think I might probably make some holes right here so I can actually make, you know, put on the hooks or something in there, and then, you know, it'll hold them for me while I'm using them. Some of my hard baits or something. I don't really like that much clutter to it, you know, on my kayak. I love this kayak just because I have more space to move around and do different things to it, you know. And you know, I could always take, and the reason why I also put this tracks right here, it's so that I can have a little more mobility and that I can transfer things around. So say this one could be right here today, tomorrow I might want it right here in the middle. So guess what, all I have to do is just take it out of there and put it right here, you know, it makes sense. It makes it easier. So I put the camera right there with the little mount, and then I can move it around up and down too, so, you know, it helps. And it's set right there. My transducer, there's someone asked me how I set up my transducer. Now the transducer goes from the bottom of the kayak, where there's a copper hole right there that connects to it. So when you look at it, it connects into this little plate right here. So this plate, you can take it out. It's only 2 screws. You take that plate out, you set up your bracket right there before you even actually mount this unit. Set up that and then put it right back into the kayak itself. Just make sure that the screws are not too long till you can actually damage the kayak. Once you put this back, then you, with a little ratchet and a little socket, you can actually like tighten up from the sides this unit, and it will just stay right there. The wire, you know, obviously you're gonna put your wire right through, and then you're gonna just leave this section right here. Once you do that, then the wire will come out through here, through this copper hole. When it comes out through this copper hole, you need to put it right back. If you don't want the wire to be hanging around all over the place, what you do is you need to put it inside the hole of the kayak. So this guy's right here, this one and this guy right here, those two are hobby hole through wire connectors, I believe that's what they call. So they come with a bunch of different configurations where you can put a single wire, you can put 2 wires, and then you can put a couple different thickness of wire. When you put them in, you actually set it up, you put it, you make the hole in the kayak, and then you put it through. Then you can run the wiring all the way in the bottom and come out through that side. When you come out through that side, you already connected into your jack power, and from the jack power you go outside with the 2 wires with your power and your transducer, and then you can hit your fish finder in the back. So when you get your fish finder back, you know, you could just like either keep it right there in that section, or you can move it around, you know, but then you'll be set. Let's see, well, there's a lot of things over here. So this is just a general overall walk through whatever I've done to it. I told you guys before, I had, this is Optima marine battery, deep cycle, and it's a blue top. So let's see, should be able to see it from right here. So that's the Optima that I have. So you can see it's 50 amp hours. That should be more than enough. Then, oh, you know, you can see a little more of the setup how I did it. So all that's it. You know, you can put it right there, lock it up, and you're in place. I also put a few of those little eye hooks, you know, and into the kayak, just so it'll help me hold my stuff together, you know. Okay, so we cover the actual wiring right here. Let's see what else. I added this section right here so I can put at the beginning, I'll be honest, at the beginning I wanted to put this little hoodie right there on the top, so actually, like, you know, it'll cover me from the sun, but it's not practical, because in reality, when I try to reach for the fishing poles in the back of it, you know, then that thing's gonna be in the way. And this thing's right here, what this are is I put lanyards on my fishing poles when I put them over here, and that way I can keep them over here, and in case that anything happens and it falls to the side or something, you know, the fishing poles will not go away. You know, it will stay right where they are, and you know, I don't have to start looking for them all over the place, and I won't be a better safe than sorry, in other words. Then you got your little you got this guy right here, your trolling mount right here. Yeah, this is pretty much the whole setup to it. If anybody has any questions, or you know, you have any comments, or you have any advice, hope I can help somehow. Just let me know. Thank you.